everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to have you here. As I'm sure you've clocked on by now, I am disabled and I have multiple chronic illnesses. There are so many videos on YouTube about my favourite beauty items, my favourite tech items, and I was inspired to do one from a chronic illness point of view. So without further ado, here are 5 of my favourite things that help make my life with disability and chronic illness just that little bit easier. Okay, first things first is this. If you are on any of my socials, you already know all about this. It is a medical history passport. It is a ring binder full of, you guessed it, my medical history. It's got my medical alerts on the front and my name so that people can easily identify who I am. And inside it's got pages such as my allergies, my current medications, my illnesses, family medical history, symptom trackers, contact details of all of my various consultants. And there's a handy little pocket at the back for keeping, stickers and stuff in. It is fully customised to best suit the needs of my individual disability and chronic illness. I'm not going to show you the inside of it because that would mean revealing all my confidential medical information and that would be a dumb idea. But trust me, this thing is a lifesaver when you go into hospital or you have other medical appointments. Often if I'm unwell enough to need A&E, I'm also unwell enough to talk and explain my full medical history. So my husband just hands them my medical folder and tells them where the pages are, and they can see at a glance my allergies, my medical history, my current illnesses, all that sort of thing. And believe me, it has saved us so much time in triage. So it has meant that I've been able to receive treatment quicker. The paramedics, the doctors, the nurses, everyone we've shown it to at hospital and in other medical environments have absolutely loved it. They have recommended that anyone with disability or chronic illness get one of these. Medical History Passports is a small business owned by a lovely lady called Zoe, who designs all of the templates herself and then prints and ships them out to you. And boy, does that woman work hard. I did a build your own passport, so I got to pick and choose each of the individual pages that I wanted in my passport so that it was fully customised to me. But Zoe also has some ready-made passports if you've got like a feeding tube or a catheter and you're not really sure where to start. They will come with a good selection of templates in there for you to fill in when they arrive, because they come blank. You just fill in all your details when it arrives, and yeah, you can add other pages to it as time goes on. She's got loads of individual pages that you can buy, and if there's a page that you think you could really do with but it's not on the website, you just send Zoe a message and she is more than happy to design one with you and get that sent out. I will leave a link in the description to all of my top 5 favourite things so that you can get your own should you feel so inclined, but particularly for the medical history passports because Zoe has very kindly given me a discount code to share with you all. So if you enter Sarah at checkout, you get 10% off, which is wonderful. And she ships worldwide. Okay, item 2 are some very fancy walking sticks. Yay! Look at those. Honestly, I love these so much. They are from a company called NeoWalks. This one's glittery. This one's just clear. You may have seen them on the UK Dragon's Den. See lovely Lindsay, who owns the business. When it became obvious that I was going to need a mobility aid, I was not having NHS grey or NHS beige anywhere near me. I was like, if I need a mobility aid, I'm gonna make it fancy. And so that's what I did. My very first stick was this one. She's called Starry Sky. She lights up, she's glittery, beautiful. And the whole thing about NeoWalks is that they really just embody the whole made to stand out vibe. These fancy walking sticks help me to take ownership of my disability because they are part of my identity. They are who I am. And so I wanted that to come out in my medical aids. And if you know me, you know that I love purple and I love glitter. And so these sticks really embody me as a person, and they just help me to really embrace life with disability and include disability within my life, to adapt around it rather than constantly fighting it. There's nothing wrong with the NHS beige, the NHS grey sticks. If you've got them, they're great. They serve a purpose. But for me, if I had been given a walking stick like that, I would have felt like it was someone else saying, you need this now, we want you to use this, and you have no choice and you have to go on with that. But using these Neo walking sticks, I got to choose what colour I wanted. I got to choose whether it lights up or not. I got to choose whether there was glitter. And it made the whole thing just feel much more my choice. It just helped me take control of my disabilities a bit more rather than them taking control of me. Having and using a mobility aid is nothing to be ashamed of. If it helps you to feel better and to be more independent, use it. And at the end of the day, they help to keep you safe, which is arguably the most important. Choosing the designs and colours and whatnot of my walking sticks has made them into a fashion accessory as well as a mobility aid. And so I am much more inclined to use them because I'm proud of them. I get to show them off and just show people how cool it is for me to have a walking stick that lights up and has glitter in it. Like, that's really cool. They are a real conversation starter. People out in the public absolutely love seeing them. And I have found that instead of people coming up to me and saying, why have you got a walking stick? Or I'm so sorry that you've got a walking stick. Instead, they come up to me and they're like, your walking stick is really cool. And I'm like, yes, yes it is. And that helps to just make disability more inclusive. But on a practical level, these walking sticks are really helpful. They have given me so much more confidence when I'm out and about. I actually use a wheelchair a lot of the time because I can't walk very far without being in pain and risking dislocation. But for scenarios where very minimal walking is involved, sort of being at church or being at the hairdressers, then I'll use my walking sticks, and they are super handy and make me feel very confident. I'm actually going to be a bridesmaid for my brother and his fiance next year, so naturally I'm going to get another walking stick that matches my bridesmaid's dress so that I can make it down the aisle without falling over. These walking sticks aren't cheap, but let me tell you, they are worth every single penny. Each stick is made to order, so you tell them how long you want it to be, what handle design you want, if you want any accessories like a rubber grip around the handle, if you want a wrist strap, and for some sticks you have the opportunity to make it light up. I always go for light up if it's an option, because why wouldn't you? And let me tell you, once you've got one, you're gonna want more, because naturally you've got to have a stick to go with every outfit. Item 3 is an item of comfort. It is a knee pillow. Oh, fancy. Because I have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, my joints are very susceptible to dislocations, and I just sort of live with chronic pain, particularly in my hips and knees. And I found that while I was asleep, I was being woken up with knee pain and lower back pain, and I would wake up with those sorts of pains in the morning, and it would just kind of ruin my whole day because I hadn't slept very well. I'd been in pain. And then I saw another chronically ill friend called Jenny. She recommended one of these knee pillows in her Spoonie Hacks videos, and I was like, I've got to get me one of those. So this pillow is great. It attaches round one leg at the bottom, and your knees and legs go either side, and it just helps to align your lower back. It stabilizes my hips, it keeps my knees in place, and my nighttime pain has completely reduced, and I'm not waking up having to put my hips back in and my knees back into place. So if you've got any type of lower back pain, knee pain or hip pain, particularly when you're asleep, I'm a side sleeper, so that's where I noticed it the most. Get yourself one of these pillows. They're not expensive. You can get them on Amazon, and just try it out, because I found it's revolutionised my sleep. I recommended it to my dad. Now he can't sleep without it. They're just an all-round inexpensive investment into getting better sleep. And anything that reduces chronic pain without the need for medication is a win in my eyes. Item number 4 is another item of comfort, and if you know me, you'll know that there are 2 things in life that I can't live without, and they are pajamas and blankets. I particularly love this blanket because it's an electric blanket. One of the quirks of my chronic illnesses is that I can't regulate my body temperature very well, so I get cold very easily. Hands up if you got hypothermia when you were on honeymoon in the Caribbean. I particularly love this electric blanket because it really helps to soothe my aching joints and muscles. And if you get a slightly weighted blanket, it can really help ease anxiety as well. It's just all round good for the physical and mental health. We love blankets. I'm going to start a blanket appreciation society. My fifth and final favourite thing for someone living with disability or chronic illness is this little device, which looks a lot like an old school MP3 player, but in actual fact, it's a TENS machine. The TENS machine, the saviour of labouring women and chronically ill people everywhere. I get a lot of muscle spasm, particularly around my sciatic nerve, and I find that the electric impulses from the TENS machine really helps to relieve those muscle spasms. It's not a cure, but it does provide temporary pain, which I find to be a little bit more effective than taking painkillers. This particular machine has got 8 different modes depending on what you need the TENS relief for. So you might need a tapping sort of relief, or you might need a gentle wave, almost massage type feeling. You can also adjust the intensity of those therapeutic modes. So those are my top 5 favourite things for making life with disability and chronic illness just a little bit more comfortable. Tell me your favourite things in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Please remember to like this video. It really does help me out, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as I said, I'll put a link to each of the items in the description so that you can get your own, along with the discount code for the medical history passports. And I'll be back with more content for you very soon. See you later.